let's do it like this. Okay. Hello YouTube, it's your boy T, and I'm here to show y'all how to get 1440p at 120 hertz on your Xbox Series X and S, and maybe PS5 if you having issues with your PS5. But these are for the people that got capture cards or got splitters or got something in between the console and your monitor slash TV connectivity, HDMI, via HDMI, right? And then you know y'all probably got like a different adapter that you also hook up to get the audio to your headset, right? Okay. The best thing to do, the first thing you want to do is see if your TV is capable. Right now it says my TV is capable of 1080p at 120 FPS, right? Okay. The reason why mine is like that, I got a 1440p monitor that goes up to 180 hertz. I think I could overclock it to 200 and something hertz, but it's not really recommended. But I can if I wanted to. If I want to overclock this monitor, I could overclock it to 200 hertz, and it would be just as good as the new monitors that came out for this version or whatever. I might upgrade in the future, but right now I'm cool with the 180 hertz because I don't really need over 200 hertz unless I really want to see 300 frames. I get over 200 frames in most games. It's just that I don't really care for the 200 frames. I just want to have fun and play the game. But some people, they want to see 300 frames. That's on you. I might do that when I get an OLED monitor. I can care less about a regular, like trying to get a new IPS monitor. If that's the case, I'm going to the next update. But disregard all of this. I'm just jumping around just to try to, kill time. So basically, if you don't got no knowledge on your monitor, you don't know your monitor hertz, you need to research that. That if your monitor can't get over 120 hertz or your TV can't get over 120 hertz, you're not going to be able to do 120 hertz regardless. So you might as well scratch this off and go to another video and see what monitors you can use for your PS5 or Xbox. I would say I would recommend get a monitor that has a 2.1 HDMI, because if it doesn't, you will run into problems like this, and you will have to sit up there and do this. Hold on, you will have to sit up there and turn this on. This is going to allow your monitor to sit there and display the colors a little bit better than a regular smegular monitor or whatever the case may be. Like instead of you like, you know what I'm saying, messing with your monitor, instead of you trying to look for the best monitor or whatever the case may be, or you just, you know what I'm saying, instead of you stressing out trying to go buy a new monitor and all that, your TV might be able to do 120 hertz at 1440p. I'm gonna do it again. So when I click on this is the error that a lot of people get. Keep new resolution. Okay, when I do 120 hertz, it goes down to 1080p. Alright, now it's a way that I can change this to 1440p, and this is how I do it. Okay, I go to these settings right here, and these are the settings that you got to go to. I have a capture card from my Xbox to my splitter that has like my PC hooked up to it and my Xbox hooked up to it. So when it's a switch actually. It's to switch from my PC to my Xbox to my capture card. So I have a switch that I can switch from my Xbox and PC to my capture card that's hooked up to my monitor, right? Or hooked up to my capture card, but I don't really need it hooked up to my monitor because I have a display port for my PC. But I just need my capture card to get an HDMI hooked up to it, so my gaming PC can be able to be captured. That's how I'm able to play PC games and console games at will, because I got a switch. But you might run into this problem when you got that extra device. If you hooking it up directly to the capture card, you might not have this problem. But since I hook it up to this, you might want to check out these settings right here. These are the settings you need to change if you're trying to get 1440p on computer. So right now I'm about to minimize the settings. Okay? Now as you can see in this video, right? Watch what happens when I change this setting right here. Instead of putting it on display, I put it on internal. Now merge might work the same way. Merge might work the same way. Watch this. Boom. Watch, I'll be able to play at 1440p. Now, sometimes this will happen. You will do 1440p. You will switch to 1440p, or yeah. Okay, so basically, okay, you go back there, boom, boom, boom. Now, sometimes this will happen. Cancel. Now it says it doesn't support it at all, right? I just got it to work, right? I got a video that I could probably put into this. I had it to work. Oh, I got it to work or whatever. So I allowed 4K. Because at first this wasn't available, right? That's because I put it on internal, right? So now 4K is available. I can go to 4K, but I should be able to do 120 at 1440p with ease. For some reason, it goes back to 1080p. I don't know why it does that. It's supposed to do 4. See, it says 1440p at 120 hertz is available. There we go. Now I got it to work. Now y'all probably were like, "What the hell you just do?" I just changed this setting right here. Let me zoom in for you guys so y'all can see. All I did is change this setting to internal. You might could try out merge. I'm not gonna try it out in this video. Y'all can try it out. You might could change one of these settings. All I know, when I change this setting to internal for the Xbox console only, maybe the PS5 got the same issue. You can sit there and put this where you want it at. I put my shit at expand because I want the colors to come out as RGB. So you want to put it at expand, and then if you want the best colors for a 2.0 HDMI and lower, go to this setting right here. Now some monitors already got 2.1, even though you got a 2.0 HDMI, you don't need this setting because you're on an OLED monitor. But if you're not on an OLED monitor, you're on an IPS or lower, or even like an older TV from back in the day, put that on. It's gonna make the colors better. Now you're able to do 1440p at 120 hertz on Call of Duty. Y'all can go ahead, hit that like button, subscribe, and comment. So basically, all you got to do is just change that setting right there. Right? Put it on internal. Once you got it like that, your OBS should be able to, sense that you're at a higher resolution or whatever. The colors is gonna look a little bit different once you have that other setting on. You can turn that off if you don't want it on. I got it on because I kind of like it now. It kind of makes the game look a little bit easier to see people. But all I'm saying is, this is the easiest way to get 120 hertz to work on your console. And if you got any other questions, leave it in the comment section. I'll walk y'all through that again if you got a capture card. If you don't have a capture card, you might die. Your monitor might not be able to support that because it doesn't have 2.1 HDMI cord. Or your monitor doesn't have an HDMI 2.1 port. So you either got to get an HDMI 2.1 cord and you got to get an HDMI 2.1 port that supports that HDMI 2.1 cord. The Xbox automatically comes with a 2.1, and that 2.1 will downgrade to a 2.0 if you do not have a 2.1 supported. You have to have 2.1 supported, because I think that the Xbox comes with a 2.1 HDMI, but 2.0 monitors will work with the Xbox. I've seen older TVs and monitors work with the Xbox with the 2.1 HDMI. Like, I got a monitor that is a 1.4 HDMI. It does, like, I think it's a 1.4 HDMI port, because I don't even think the monitor can go over 60 frames. I don't even think it's possible to go over 60 frames on that monitor, because that monitor is only 60 frames. It's an old BenQ gaming monitor from when back in the day when 60 hertz was like the norm for gaming on Call of Duty competitive or whatever. So like that's my thoughts on how to get the 1440p to work. It's the best way to get the 1440p to work, instead of you trying to how can I explain it? Instead of you trying to figure out, like, instead of you trying to figure out settings and shit, that's the number one reason why the 1440p 120 hertz don't work on the Xbox, because you got it hooked up to like a switch or adapter or something that you trying to get sound to your Elgatos or whatever, or you trying to get sound to your Astros, like this. You got the old Astros, and you got to have that adapter, or you got the new Astros and you got that adapter where you got to hook your Xbox up to that HDMI port, and then hook that up to the other one. You gonna have to tweak with the settings in that display thing and just fuck around with it and don't touch it again. Because once you touch it, you got to go back through it and then redo it and refresh it, and then the system is going to reread it again. Because Xbox takes a long time to rewrite their writing of the HDMI, because the Xbox had to detect, oh, this is 2.1. All right, now we're gonna give you 1440p 120. Whereas on PC, it just gives you 120 depending on wherever your monitor is. It don't matter what HDMI or display port you got, it will allow you to get it. Now, I will say this: for 8K to 120, like 8K 120 or 4K 120, you might need 2.1 for that. But 2.0 might work on that for 120. But I'm saying if you want higher FPS, like 300 frames, you want to be able to see that with 4K, you might need to get a display port or an HDMI. This is only on PC. I don't think that a monitor that doesn't support 2.1 will allow you to do 4K at over 300 frames. You will have to get 2.1 or higher, or whatever the case would be. I think they got HDMI 2.2 now, but display port is the best. That's king. It's just that consoles are made for home systems, and that was just me just giving y'all a little benefit of doubt, letting y'all know that it's real easy to fix the 120 hertz thing, and a lot of people have issues